Okay, everybody. Hey, I'm Melissa Amos, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador and good friend of Rita and Holly. And I did this for my team last week, this little Zoom meeting, and it went over so well, but I forgot to hit record. And so Rita and Holly really wanted me to do this for their team as well. And so I said, well, here's a great time because I need to record it. So this was perfect. I'm super excited to be with you guys tonight. I hope that you learn something from this. I hope that you get a ton out of this. And I'll start off by saying this. Why did we think that this was important? Why did I start researching how to recruit influencers? Why was this a big deal? Well, I started noticing that the trend is that people that get on the leaderboard, people that are really successful in this business, tend to know how to recruit influencers. It's not just about, oh, let me just get as many people as I can. It's the fact that they can recruit, but they can recruit people of influence. And so I started thinking about, okay, what do we need to do to recruit people of influence, and how do we need to bring that into our business? What's it going to do for our business? So that's why researching this was so important to me, and that's why I probably watched 25 videos, read excerpts from tons of books, and just really poured into this topic because I know that if we can figure out how to recruit influencers, it's going to totally transform our business. All right, so we're going to start with this. We're going to talk about what is an influencer. And y'all are like, okay, this is stupid. I know what the meaning of an influencer is. But I want you to think a little deeper than that. An influencer is a person who influences others through their network. They are doers and they are producers. But specifically, what is an influencer? What do we look for in an influencer? And if you brought a notebook to this tonight, this is where I want you to start writing. I want you to start writing these down. I'm going to go over them one by one. This is what we typically find with someone who we consider an influencer. Now, you're going to start looking at these and you're going to go, okay, well, I think such and such is an influencer, but they don't have every single one of those qualities. Okay, well, that's fine. A lot of influencers are not going to have every single one of these qualities, but you're going to find that they have a lot of these qualities. So let's look at these. All right, they're trustworthy. People trust what they say and they believe them. They are hardworking. They will work super hard. You don't have to bribe them to be on a call, okay? That's what we're talking about, hardworking people. They're confident in themselves. So if they join your business, they're going to be confident in these products and confident in themselves, and they're not going to let anybody else, they're not going to be concerned about what other people think because they're so confident in themselves and their knowledge about this business and these products. They're going to be enthusiastic. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to be super fired up about it, excited about what you're doing, excited about learning more and really diving in. They're going to be prepared. They're going to come to these meetings with a notebook and a pen, and they're going to come to training meetings, and they're going to be prepared. And when they go to talk to people, they're going to be prepared.
What are you doing?
Hey, can y'all mute yourself? I'm sorry, but I'm getting a lot of feedback through there. If I need to, I think you did. Okay. All right. Keep going. Prepared. All right. Focused. They are going to be focused on their dream. If their dream is to go diamond, they're going to be focused on that, and they're not going to take their focus off of it, and they're going to do whatever they can to get there. They have very good people skills. They know how to talk to people. They know how to interact with people. They walk in a room and they can talk to anyone in there. They're not the person in the corner sitting by themselves. They know how to talk to others. They're open-minded. But now, let me warn you about this one. They will be open-minded, but they will be skeptical at first. They will be skeptical and want to do their own research, but when they do their own research, they're open-minded to trying new things. Typically, I said they don't have to meet all of these. They're creative. They think outside the box. They like to, do things that are not in the norm just to kind of get things going. They can think outside of just what their upline tells them to do. They can go, oh, well, I think that'll work. People like this. Start thinking about it. They're creative. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to have to mute everybody because this is driving me crazy. It's that ADD kicking in. All right, sorry. They're courageous. They are not afraid to talk to people about these products. They're not afraid to talk to people about the business. And if you see them outside of Plexus, they're not afraid to talk to anybody about anything they feel strongly about. They're just courageous type personality. They lead, they don't follow. Okay. This doesn't mean that, they can't be trained. This doesn't mean that they can't be coached. They are just natural leaders. They have strong communication skills. They're able to do Zoom calls. They're able to talk in front of people. And this may not be something that's a must for them. This may be something that they can communicate one-on-one with people, but maybe they're not, that super strong in talking in front of a bunch of people. But they still have strong communication skills and can carry on a good conversation. They have a good self-image. People think highly of them. People like who they are. They like what they represent, and they think a lot of them. They are disciplined. Okay. This is obviously not a requirement for some of them, because I can tell you we have lots of leaders on our team that are not necessarily disciplined. But they, a lot of times influencers are very disciplined people. They do the same thing every day. You look at, and I'm using this because I'm an Alabama fan. Sorry if you're an Auburn fan. But look at Nick Saban. Nick Saban eats the same thing for breakfast every day, and he eats the same thing for lunch every day. He gets up at the same time. He does the same thing every single day. And he's just one of those people that I looked at and learned a lot about, because I thought, okay, well, he's an extremely, prominent case of an influencer, and he does the same thing every single day. He knows what he's going to do. He knows what it takes to be successful, and he goes by those steps every single day. He doesn't have to think about what he wants for breakfast or lunch, because that's just what he's very disciplined, and that's just what he's going to do every day. Usually influencers are very disciplined. They're constantly improving themselves, whether it's their health, their fitness, their things that they can learn, and they're constantly growing and learning and doing. Okay, so I've told you a bunch of these, traits of influencers. And you're like, okay, that's great. All right, I might can think of a few people, but I don't really know a whole lot of influencers. Well, let's talk about who they are. Let's talk about where you can find these influencers. Now, I'm going to give you this list, and I don't want you to limit yourself to what I have on this list. Okay, these are just examples to get you thinking about where you might find some of these influencers. So let's look at the first one. Teachers, pastors, and coaches. Okay, why are these influencers? You say, okay, well, they're in front of a bunch of people all day. Well, yeah, but they're well known. If you think about it, if you have kids, a lot of the teachers at your child's school. You may not know them, but you know who they are. And if you were friends with them on Facebook, you would pay attention to what they posted, because you know who they are. And they not only have influence over kids, parents, but they have influence over the people that they work with. They have influence over everyone that they have taught before and after, or whoever they're going to teach after. So they come in contact with a ton of people, and they're well respected. Obviously, pastors. They're up in front of people. People listen to them. They're well known and well respected. Same goes with coaches. Every now and then you're going to find a teacher or a pastor or a coach that's not well liked, but that's very rare. Most of them are well liked, well known, and well respected. So that's just one kind of area. Now let's go to the second one. Successful business owners and six-figure income earners. I wish I could have shown you the faces of my team when I put this one up. They were kind of like, what? Because they don't think about them being people that they would want to recruit, simply because they don't think about these people being someone that would need the money or need the business. Let me tell you something about these people. They are influencers because they want to be involved in successful endeavors, and they know a business opportunity when they see it, but they already have influence over people. They already have a huge network of people that respect them in the business sense. So they want to be a part of your organization if they ever get to know about it, because Plexus is amazing. I mean, our compensation plan is second to none. Why wouldn't you want to be involved with our business? And if you're a successful business owner and you're a smart business person, then when it's laid out in front of you, you can see that, and you can see that opportunity. So successful business owners are perfect for this business because they already have the mind for it, and they already have the network. All right, so the third is competitive athletes and internally driven people. Now, you're saying competitive athletes because they're just healthy. No, I'm saying that because they're respected and they're well known. They have followers who watch them on Facebook and track their progress and their ability. and they have people that look to them for health and fitness advice. So why wouldn't they be influencers? Y'all, let me tell you something. I get so excited when I go talk to a personal trainer at a gym, or when I go talk to a fitness instructor of some sort, or someone that, owns a gym. I get so excited or someone that had played, baseball or football for a long period of time. I get really excited when I talk to these people, especially if they've kept their health in check since high school or college, because they know what it takes to be successful at fitness or at their health. They know what it takes. And so they also are usually very in tune to what they're putting into their body. So when they find out what's in our products, they're going to be super excited and want to tell everybody. But they're very influential people. People listen to them and come to them every time they have a fitness question. And health and wellness industry workers, these people. These are nurses, these are doctors, these are anybody in the medical profession, like Rita, PT. People go to them for advice all the time. I'm sure that these nurses and doctors and, anyone in the medical professional field get messages all the time from random people on Facebook that they don't even know saying, hey, I got a nurse, or I got a question, a health question. I mean, I have several nurse friends. I don't know a thing about health. Rita and Holly will tell you that. I know about Plexus, and I've learned a lot through this process. But I mean, if I find, something on my child and I don't know what it is, guess what? I'm not hitting Google. I'm going to call it my friend who's a nurse, and I'm going to ask her opinion about it. Those people have influence. I trust her. She's well respected, in my opinion. So those people, are definitely going to have some pull that you can't reach. All right. So now we kind of know where to spot these people. Like I said, don't limit yourself to just these 4 bullets. Okay. You can write this down just to kind of get your mind thinking, but think a little bit outside this too. But these are just kind of the 4 main ones that I kind of thought needed to be brought up. So let's talk about who they're not, because some of you have probably recruited people in the past or talked to people in the past who you really thought were going to be an influencer, and they just died out and they didn't do a thing. Here maybe is a few reasons why. Number 1, they're negative, and they're trying to find something wrong with everything. They take the products and, these don't work, even though they're still eating whatever they want to, and they're not exercising at all, and they're taking their products half the time. They just want to be negative. Stay away from those people. People who engage in drama or busyness. People that just are constantly, okay, people might listen to their chatter, but they're not really listening to what they're saying. So don't mistake them for an influencer just because people are listening to them. People are not really soaking it in, I promise you. Those who stir up issues on social media. Don't mistake an influencer for someone who just posts a lot and just says a lot, but really doesn't have a whole lot to say. If you know those people that are constantly stirring up drama on Facebook. A lot of people comment on their posts, and they're very, I don't think that. It's the Facebook war. A lot of times, especially in the political season, you'll see these people post a lot about political stuff, just constantly on and on and on and on, just to try to get some feedback from people. Those are not influential people, okay? Those are just loud people that don't always have something to say. That's the next point. And people who have polarizing personalities. Just, you look at Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, okay? They might be influencers to their parties, but they're not influencers to the opposite party. They're very polarizing. People either love them or hate them. I wouldn't necessarily consider them someone that I would want in my organization, because if I get them in my organization and half the people hate them, well, then what does that say for me? So stay away from polarizing personalities. Popular does not equal influential. All right. So we talked about where they are, and we talked about who they are, and we talked about where they're not. So let's talk about what motivates an influencer. Okay, how do I get to these people? All right, if I can identify them, great, fine. But how do I get their attention? All right, there's 4 things that motivate an influencer. 4. Okay, there's no more than this. 4. Money. Money motivates a lot of people. Let's be honest. Prestige and recognition. They want to be on that stage. They want their name in lights. They want that pat on the back. They want somebody to tell them they're doing a good job. Success. They want to be able to say that they made it to the top of the company. They want the success. They want to leave a legacy for their kids. They love that. And then purpose. Some of them Some of these people are influential. I have a girl on my team who is extremely influential, but she just needed a purpose outside of her job. And she wanted friends. She wanted good friends. Extremely influential, has 5,000 friends on Facebook or more, probably, if they would allow it. But she needed a purpose, and that's what motivates her. So if you can find somebody that has one of these 4 things that you know is an influencer, then you're one step closer to approaching them about this business. All right, now, okay, so if I pinpoint what motivates them and I can find that, how do I talk to them? All right, well, we've got a lot of points on this. And if you're writing down, this is another great time to start writing again. So appeal to their vanity or their business sense. When you contact them, say something like this. And I use this a lot. I have been wanting to message you for a really long time, and I chickened out. And let me tell you why. Because I think you're amazing, and I didn't want you to think that I was nuts for messaging you. Here's why I think you would be amazing. You are just everything that a diamond is. You are, just stroke that ego, okay? That appeals to them because they are already successful usually, or they know that they're influential. So kind of stroking their ego a little bit is not a bad thing. Or appeal to their business sense. Say, it just makes good business sense for you to do this. You are already making good money, or you are already very influential, but you could be making this much more money on the side with, not having to go get another job. You could be adding to your income constantly. Okay, that just makes business sense. And if I give you a second to really explain it to them, then they'll see that. Ask for referrals to pique their interest. If you were on the call last night with Jen, she talked about recruiting Celeste and how Celeste was her customer, but she said, hey, will you just send me some referrals? Well, Celeste kept sending her referrals, because she liked the product, and she just kept sending her referrals. Well, eventually she said, these people could be your customers. They could be your ambassadors. You could have your own website. A lot of times, these happy customers that are influencers will turn into fantastic ambassadors because they simply cannot help themselves. Why would you as an influencer sit back and keep feeding someone else money when you could be making the money yourself? Influencers are not stupid, okay? They know that there could be something big in it for them. So they're not going to keep doing that for too long. So engage in a 3-way call with your upline. I say this because a lot of you are sitting out there going, okay, well, I know, 10 influencers that I would love to talk to, but I am so chicken that I would never talk to them because what if they ask me something I don't know? What if they back me in a corner about something and I can't answer it? Okay, well, this is when you call in help. This is when you phone a friend, okay? And if your direct upline is not working the business or you're not confident in them, I don't mean that as a stab to anybody. I'm just saying some of us have, some of you guys have uplines that aren't working the business. Then go to the next one up. Somebody is going to help you. Say, hey, I've got this influencer that I really want to talk to, and will you just get in on a 3-way call with me and kind of talk to them a little bit so they can hear it from someone else than me? Perfect opportunity, y'all. I've done 3 this week, and they have gone amazing. Every single one of them either signed up or signed up as a customer, because it just kind of helps to have someone that's either been doing this longer than you, or just knows a little bit more than you, or can talk to them better, or that sometimes they just want to hear somebody else. They don't necessarily want to hear you sell to them. They want to hear what somebody else has to say. So get somebody in on a 3-way call. Be personal. Tell them what it's done for you. Tell them your story. Tell them what it's done for your family. Tell them what it's done for your mom or your friend or your husband. Be personal and be real. Don't try to sell them this big, gigantic idea when you can simply tell them what it's done for you and your financial security or your health. And then that could be all it takes. You don't have to sell this big, huge story to them. They just want to hear what it's done for you. They want you to be real. So be attractive versus repelling in your presentation. We don't want to just jump on them like a crazy person and be like, I know you can do this, you can do this. Oh my gosh, you would be so great at this. Be appealing with it. Honestly, hold back a little bit and say, I really love this, and let me tell you what it's done for me. Let me tell you, the money that has come into my family at this point. Let me tell you the income that has brought in. Those kind of things are appealing. Repelling is, okay, I'm going to check on you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to check on you tomorrow. Okay, that is going to drive somebody insane. Yes, you might have to follow up with them, but be attractive about your presentation instead of pushing them away. Be direct. Like I said a while ago, they don't want to hear a big story. They just want to hear what you got. And here's the thing about influencers. They are really only willing to give you a short portion of their time. So you got to be direct because you got to get it in 5 minutes or less. If it takes you more than 5 minutes to explain this compensation plan and what these products have done for you, then it's taken too long. Practice your elevator speech. Practice what it's done for you. Practice this compensation plan and why it's so much different than anything else out there. And get it to them in 5 minutes and be direct about it. Don't beat around the bush. Like I just said, use their time wisely when meeting with them. Don't take 2 hours trying to explain to them, because most of them are, some of them are going to work full time and they might meet you at lunch and they only got an hour lunch and you've killed 2 hours. So be direct and use your time wisely. Know your purpose for reaching out before you contact them. So if you're contacting them because they're in the health and wellness industry and they're extremely influential in their workplace, people love them, people respect them, tell them that. Know why you're reaching out to them. If you have an influencer or you think somebody's an influencer, write it down. Write their name down and then write up underneath their name why you think that they're an influencer and why you think that they would be great at this. And know that before you contact them. Don't be like, I just really think you would love it. Why? They don't care about that. All they're going to see is that's another time that somebody's trying to sell them something. That's all they're going to see. And y'all, I want to say this too. Most of these influencers have been somebody has reached out to them already about an MLM at some point. It might be Rodan and Fields. It might be at Works. It might be whatever. Mary Kay. It might be whatever. Somebody has reached out to them because I promise you, if they're an influencer, no one has just let them slip through the cracks. So with your presentation to them, it's got to be different. It can't be, come do this crazy rap thing with me. Like, if any of you are at Works, I'm sorry. I'm just using that as an example because I've gotten it several times. It can't be canned. You got to be confident in your presentation, and that's the next point. You got to be confident in your presentation that Plexus is number one. We are better than the others. Tell them why. You don't have to name the other ones, but you tell them why it's different. Tell them why you think they would love it, and be direct about it, and know that you're not the only one that has reached out to them. So what sets Plexus apart? Build your belief before you try to build theirs. So if you are still terrified to reach out to people, if you are still terrified to talk about Plexus, if you're still, not sure if you really can make this work, then you got to work on your belief before you ever try to reach out to these influencers. Because let me tell you right now, they're going to poke holes all in your story, all in it, because they're smart and they know what they're talking about. You have got to have your feet planted firmly in the ground and know where you stand on Plexus, how you feel about these products, how you feel about this business before you ever approach their doorstep. If your belief is not big enough, then you need to take the next couple of days to build your belief. Go watch some testimonies. Go watch some diamond documentaries. Go read more about these products and what they've done for people. And I promise you'll build your belief enough that you'll have the confidence to go talk to them. But if you don't have that confidence right now, you better take the next couple of days to get there. Don't show up at their doorstep not being confident and shaky knees, because that's not going to win over an influencer ever. All right, don't be afraid to contact them. Y'all, they are just people, okay? Your belief is built up. You're ready to go. You're fired up. Oh, I just can't reach out to them. I can't. I'm so chicken. What are they going to say? Who cares what they say? Did they pay your bills? No, they don't. They do not pay your bills. And likely that you just know them on Facebook and you don't even run into them. And who cares if you do? You know what? You stepped out and were courageous and reached out to someone. Pat on the back for you, okay? And if they can't understand that, then they weren't right for this business in the first place. Move on, bless and release, next person on the list. But don't be afraid to reach out to them, because I can promise you, like I said a minute ago, if you don't, somebody else is going to. Don't be one of those people that sits back and goes, oh, they signed up with somebody else, or, oh, they signed up for another multi-level marketing company. If I had only reached out to them, y'all, that is the worst feeling ever. It's horrible. Don't let that be you. Don't get disappointed when they say no or do not respond, okay? I get this all the time, the chirps, you don't hear anything. They just, they've seen it because there are little pictures right beside it, and they've looked at it, but they don't say a word, okay? That's fine. Let them go. Check in on them in a month or so and say, hey, not sure if you got my message, or you don't even have to say that. You can say, hey, I saw you got my message. Just really would love to talk to you about Plexus. Girl, you don't even know. This stuff is amazing. Let me tell you what I found out today about it. Boom. Send them a fact that you found out about Plexus, or something that it helped somebody with, or send them a diamond documentary randomly. They're going to have to respond eventually. But don't get discouraged if they say no. Say, you know what? That's awesome. Hey, let me tell you what Plexus helps with. Send them a list of we have that graphic of things that Plexus can help. Send them that graphic and say, hey, do you know anybody that needs any help with anything on this list? Because I'm in this to change people's lives. And I would love, if you have anybody that you know that needs help with any of this, I'd love to help them out. Just send me some referrals. Okay. Guess what? They're going to see all their friends using it, and they're going to see all their friends loving it, and then they're going to kick themselves for not signing up on your team. Don't be vague or evasive. We kind of talked about this a while ago. Being direct, being to the point, tell them what they need to know. Don't beat around the bush. Don't be evasive about it. If you don't know the answer to a question that they're throwing at you, say, you know what? I don't know. Let me look that up. Y'all, most of you have smartphones, and you can look up the answer on your smartphone right there in front of them, okay? And if you can't look it up, message your upline and say, hey, I'm sitting here with a potential right now. Call your upline. They may answer. Call them. Say, I'm sitting here with a potential right now, or I'm talking to a potential right now, and she had this question. I'm not real sure how to answer it. What's your answer for this? Find out. Don't just skate around the question, because they're going to shoot holes in that. All right. So why we don't contact them. Let's talk about why we don't reach out to these people. And you're like, okay, well, why is this important to talk about this? Because we have to get over these things, or we're never going to get the backbone to talk to these people. So fear of rejection. You're scared that they're just going to shoot you down. So what if they do? Move on. All right. Don't know what to say. We've already covered this one. You call your upline. You get on a 3-way call with your upline. You don't know what to say, then okay. If you're confident that I don't know enough about Plexus to talk to them, then guess what? You need to use some time watching videos and researching these products. It doesn't take that long. You can take one product a day. Okay, one product a day, and learn a wealth of knowledge. There's a product call tonight that's going to be, I feel positive, will be recorded. Watch it tomorrow and make some notes. You'll know what to say, I promise. Afraid of questions we can't answer. So you call your upline and you find out. Y'all, there are tons of pages that have that little search button at the top, and it is not hard to look things up. Afraid of what others will think. I get this all the time. So you're too prideful to reach out to an influencer that could be an amazing superstar on your team because of what your sister's going to think, or what your brother's going to think, or what your mom's going to think, or what your friend's going to think. Who cares? I know you care. I know you care. Y'all are sitting there going, oh, I do care. I know you care. Well, get over it, because if you keep caring about what other people think, you're never going to be successful in this business. Yep, I just said it. If you care what other people think, you're never going to be successful in this business. You have got to get past it. They don't pay your bills. They don't put money in your checking account. Get over it. All right. Afraid that we will come off annoying. No, annoying is when I see that someone else has signed up under another company or under someone else. That's annoying. Annoying is not reaching out to someone and offering them the opportunity of a lifetime, because that's what this is. Annoying is not saying anything to them and them silently suffering with a health issue that we know nothing about, because they're such an influence that they put on this mask that they haven't told anybody about it. And so they're suffering in silence because they have no idea that Plexus will help it. That's annoying. So we don't need to worry about coming off annoying. Okay, we've got something that no one else has. We have got something that is changing lives. And if you don't believe that, like I said, watch some testimonies, watch some diamond documentaries, talk to some of your upline, because I can promise you, can tell you story after story after story. Y'all, we can't be worried about coming off as annoying. Those of us who are Christians, we know what Jesus does for our lives. We know how he's changed our lives. Do you think one time we think, oh, well, I don't want to be annoying and tell other people about Jesus? No, we don't say that, because he's life-changing. That's how, of course, not that magnitude, but that's how I feel about Plexus. Jesus has changed my soul, but Plexus has changed my health. And I'm going to tell everybody about it, just like I would about my faith. I want to tell everybody. So don't worry about coming off as annoying. Go for the no. So if you're going for the no, what does that mean? You're like, am I supposed to get a no? No, but the more no's you're getting is the more people you're reaching out to, and the one step closer that you are to a superstar. And I love this little quote that I found when I was doing all this research, and it says, fear equals false evidence appearing real. You are fearful of things that are not even real. You are fearful of what these people are going to think of you. Y'all, they are not going to think that at all. And if they do, then bye. Bye, Felicia. Who cares? Peace out. Okay, next on the list, I'm going to find somebody that wants this opportunity and is excited about it. And trust me, you will. So why are influencers, I think this is the last one. Why are influencers important to my business? All right, well, number one, I hate to tell you, but it's real slow going to the top without a few influencers. You can be full speed ahead for a little while with all these wholesale ambassadors and all these people, that are just kind of dabbling in it, don't really have a lot of influence. If you don't find some influencers, it's going to be real slow going to the top with your 200 level 1 ambassadors. And then you got to take care of 200 level 1 ambassadors, okay? So it is crucial that you find a few people of influence on your team. You just can't, you can go to the top without it, but it's just slow. It's real slow and hard. Influencers open up the market to people you cannot reach, okay? We were talking a while ago about the medical field. If you're not in the medical profession, then you don't probably know everybody at the hospital, okay? Well, that nurse might know everybody at that hospital, okay? And who do they come in contact with? The public every single day. Think about the pastors. Think about the teachers that come in contact with people that you never see or will ever talk to, or nor do you have a relationship with them. So why would they listen to you anyway? You're just a stranger to them. Well, they have a relationship with these people, so they can talk to them. They're going to open up a whole new world. People listen to and follow influencers. Influencers are going to have people, okay, let me use this as an example. The women will appreciate this. Men, I'm sorry if you're on the call. A woman influencer looks like this. She paints her nails this crazy zebra print with pink background, okay? I think that would be cute. But she paints her nails like that, and she puts it out on Facebook for everybody to see. And if she's an influencer, there are going to be some people that go, ooh, I want to go paint my nails like that. And they're going to go paint their nails like that. Why? Because she just influenced their decision about how they want to paint their nails. People will listen to them. Sometimes, even if they're not really sure that it's a great idea, they're going to listen to them and follow them because they respect their opinion that much. And you can learn from influencers. I talked at the very beginning about how influencers are super creative. They think outside the box. These influencers bring new ideas to your organization. So they may say, you know what? You're never going to reach teachers that way. The way you've been trying to reach out to teachers, you're never going to reach teachers that way. I'm a teacher, and I know all those teachers at this particular school, and let me tell you how you can reach out to them. Or I'm a nurse, and let me tell you how you can reach out to these nurses. They're going to bring totally new ideas to your organization that you have never even thought about. All right, this is a concept that I got off this video, and I want you guys to listen to this because this is important. I've spent this whole time talking to you about influencers. And an influencer is kind of like a whale, okay? We're going to call them the whales. We have to go for the whales, but we cannot neglect the fish. What do I mean by fish? I mean the fish are the wholesale ambassadors or the people in your organization who are, just dabbling in it. We can't forget them because even though the workers, who I call the whales, make up about 20%, the wholesale ambassadors make up approximately 80% of our organization. So yes, our wholesale ambassadors, or our people that are just kind of dabbling in it, that are this 80%, the fish, they make up a large portion, but it's the 20% that are going to get you that 80%. Now, why do I say we don't need to neglect the fish? Because we still have to tend to and care for the fish while we go get the whales. And why is that important? Because the whales are going to take a long time. Okay. Whales are not going to bite at the first bait that you throw out majority of the time. Sometimes they might, but do not forget about that statistic that says that the sale is made between the 8th and the 12th contact. Okay, some of you forget that. Some of you reach out to them 5 times, follow up with them 6 times. You're like, forget it. They just don't want it. What happened to 8 to 12? You reach out to them 12 times, and then if you want to throw in the towel, throw in the towel. It's fine. Give it up. But until you've reached out to them 12 times, you should not be giving up, because it's 8 to 12, people, 8 to 12. And let me tell you, those influencers are smart. They know they have a decision to make. If they may choose not to go with Plexus, they're going to go somewhere. The multi-level marketing world is growing, and it's growing at an exponential rate. They're going to go somewhere. You want it to be with you. So what if you don't follow up with them after the 2nd time, and another multi-level marketing company or, ambassador comes along and follows up with them 8 times. And on that 8th time, she gets that influencer, or he or she, because they followed up, simply because they followed up and offered as much information as possible. So I don't want you to focus too much on all about the whales and neglect your fish. I want you to understand that whales take a lot of time. All right, so how do I get influencers to join my organization? We talked about losing the fear, building belief and confidence in the company. We talked about that. Expanding your own influence. So if you feel like right now that you don't have a very strong level of influence, you need to work on expanding your influence. You need to meet new people. You need to get out of your box, and you need to, for more people on Facebook, get out and do more things. Get involved in some groups at church or within your, kids or other networks where you can expand your own influence. Search in the right places. Obviously, we're not meeting people in the bar and telling them to sign up tomorrow. If you go to the bar, that's your business, but don't bring home an ambassador. Just like, you don't want to take home a spouse from the bar and meet them, show them to your parents. It's the same way with an ambassador. Okay. Make sure to be a product of the product. Little tough love here. Okay. You cannot grab an influencer if you have not changed your lifestyle. So if you have been on the products for 6 months and you don't feel any better, you're not looking any better, you're not exercising, you're still eating like crap, still going through the drive-thru all the time, you talk about taking naps every day, you are still as miserable as you were before, then you're not being a product to the product. All these products work. You just got to take them consistently, and you got to drink your water, and you got to exercise. It's not a magic pill. So if you're not being a product to the product, then how are you supposed to convince someone of influence to join your team? So maybe you might need to work on you for a little while, because I'm telling you, influencers do not want to follow behind people who don't practice what they preach. If you are full in and you are all in with this company, then you need to be all in. You need to be all in with your body and with your mind. All in before you approach these people. All right, so get out your, I'm going to open up my little screen here. Get out your piece of paper, and I want you to tell me right now on a scale of 1 to 10 where you fall on the scale of influence. So 1 being not influential at all, and none of you are 1s, okay? And 10 is I'm the most influential person ever, okay? Be nice to yourself. Okay, some of you are not going to be very nice to yourself. And I want you to take that number, and I want you to hold it up. Write it big enough where I can see, and I want you to hold it up to the screen. Some of you are now grabbing paper, cracking me up. I can't see. You got to write it thicker. Write it thicker. I want to see where you feel like your level of influence. 7, I like it. Where is your level of influence? An 8. Boom, 7. See, y'all are being nice to each other. I like it. Nice to yourself, I meant. My team the other night was not very nice to themselves. I saw a 3 the other night, and I'm like, there's no way anyone's there might be, but I doubt it. Not that person. She was not 3. Okay, now what are you going to do with that number? Now, below it on that same piece of paper somewhere, I want you to write down 5 people that you believe that are influential in your network. Okay, somebody you know. You don't have to know them well. They don't have to be your best friend. You just have to know who they are. Write down below that number 5 people that are influential. I'll give you a second. Some of you are thinking so hard. Now, beside their names, I want you to tell me where they fall on this scale. You don't have to show me this part, but I just want you to write a number beside each one of those people and tell me where they fall on the scale of influence. So if you think they're a 10, write a 10. If you think they're a 6, write a 6. But think about all the things that we've talked about tonight. Think about all the characteristics of someone that's influential. Think about all of that. Now I want you to think about those people, and I want you to look at those numbers. Are they below you on the scale, or are they above you on the scale? Because if they're below you, then scratch their name out. Okay? I'm not saying that people who are below you on the scale are not people that you want on your team, because you do. Like I said, you do want other people on your team. But I want you to focus on shooting for those people who are above you on that scale. We have to shoot for people who are above us on that scale. Y'all are still writing. Some of y'all are. I love it. I love it. I want to read y'all this quote. In many respects, influencers are the key to making sense of the billion pieces of content and words that are published throughout social media services. They are the ones we follow, trust, and ultimately help decide what will succeed or fail. Now, what does that mean? I mean, that means that there's so much stuff being put out there on social media today. There are so many people talking about this product, and you got the ads that pop up all the time. Influencers are the ones that take those and put a big neon sign around them because they are important. They are the people that pull that. I mean, you think about it. There are articles that go through social media all the time that you never pay attention to until someone of influence shares that article. And then you go, oh, well, let me read it. Or a place in town. Okay, this happened the other day. There's a place to eat in Prattville that I have never been because it's never really crossed my mind to go. And someone who I consider to be a person of influence shared it on Facebook that, oh, you should all go eat at this place. It was so great. Well, guess what? I'm going to go eat there now because they said it was great. And I think they're an influential person, and I trust them, and I respect them and believe what they say. And I would have never eaten there had they done that. So they took something that wasn't important or that I didn't consider was important and brought it to the forefront and made me listen to it. Who are those people for you? You have to pinpoint those people. You have to find them, and you have to go after them. Build your belief, be a product of the product, and go after these people, because if you don't, someone else is going to. And that's all I have tonight. I will open it up for a few questions because I know some of you probably want to hop on that product call, and you're only 14 minutes in if you wanted to. But does anybody have any? I'm going to stop share really quick. Does anybody have any questions?
Melissa, thank you. That was amazing.
I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I get a little fired up about the, not doing what people think, but we've got to get past that or we're not going to get anywhere. Ever, 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 ever.